Hi, welcome to Sewing with Sandy. Today we're going to do the new Vogue pattern drop. This is their early winter pattern drop, and they dropped 20 patterns. So we're going to buzz through these pretty quickly. But you know, I'm a big fan of Vogue. This is Vogue 9291. We made this up in a sew-along, and I'll put all the information down below. But Vogue patterns take a little more time, but even beginners can certainly tackle them. You just have to go slowly through the process. And that's what we're just gonna discuss them right now. There might be a few that you'll find that will be in sew-alongs coming down the path, and we'll talk about those as we get there. So let's get started. All right, the first one up is 2063. Now it's the holiday season, so we're getting super fancy dresses from Vogue. This one is an off the shoulder with a deep scoop out of the front. I'm sure there's some underpinning structure going on here, so you're gonna have to take a little bit of time with this dress. It's ruched from under the bust to the hip, and then in the front and the back, and there's a back zipper. It has those long kind of glove-like sleeves, but they're attached. It's gorgeous. I mean, you would have to have a place to wear this, and you would want to make sure that you did a fitting garment first, but absolutely stunning. I don't have anywhere to go to wear this, and you have to put a lot of time and effort into this. But if you had like an elegant black tie wedding, this might be the thing to make up, or a New Year's Eve party would be perfect for that. Gorgeous, absolutely stunning. 2064, beautiful dress. I mean, if you can pull off something with this much fitting, then it certainly will be well received in your wardrobe, especially if you make it in kind of a neutral color, maybe cranberry. You know, that burgundy color is really, really hot right now. This has a ton of stitching detail, and I'm actually going to put up a picture of the back of the dress, of the line drawing, because there is so much detail on this dress, and it's made with a knit, so it fits like to the T. It's got a high collar, and it to be sleeveless or long sleeved. I mean, I think the sleeveless version would be gorgeous with a little jacket or a wrap or something over it. Nothing too big. This would be too flowy because you have that flowy skirt going on. But this has got princess seams, and it's got hip seams, so it has sort of like godets on the side. There's a lot of stitching going on in this one. Beautiful, and probably a lot of work. It's listed as average. I'm going to say it's at least average. You need to be able to manage a knit, and you need to be able to top stitch a knit. And those are two very different techniques depending on the knit that you use. So you want to use a knit that's kind of stable. You don't want to use an ITY, because top stitching an ITY can get tricky, and you can get like those little wavy ripple lines. So you want to watch out for that, because that would ruin the look of this dress. Gorgeous. 2065 is a Tom and Linda Platt designer dress. It's rated as an advanced pattern. I can see that it might be because you're working with this sheer overlay. So essentially what you have is a princess dress, and then inside the princess seams is this sheer batwing overlay. So it's attached to the dress. I think it's really pretty. It has a very simple neckline. If you can find a sheer that coordinates really well with the fabric that you're going to make the sheath dress out of, then you've got it knocked. I mean, you can pull off something that looks high-end designer. It's really hard to find that. Typically, unless you're doing black or white, it's really hard to find color combos that are going to be absolutely perfect. You want something close. I once made a burgundy prom dress for my daughter, and it had a sheer overlay, and we were fortunate enough to find the right color. So that part can be a little tricky, finding the exact color match. So if you go for something that's a coordinate as opposed to an exact match, you're going to come up with a different look. The only thing I would have to say, I think the reason that this is listed as advanced is because it's a designer pattern, and they want their patterns to be listed as advanced. Almost all the designer patterns have an advanced rating on them. I don't think it would be that hard. The trickiest part is going to be to make that really pretty rolled hem on the sheer overlay. So if you think you can manage that, then it's really just a sheath dress, and pretty much a beginner can sew a sheath dress. Not a problem, and they're easier to fit because they have the princess seams. So this might be a good one if you like the look. I love the sheer kind of capey look, you know. I think it would be super cute and not as hard to make as they make it out to be. 2066 is a Bagley Mishka. There is a lot going on with this dress. I mean, it's a mermaid style full-length dress with these double-tiered sleeves. Gorgeous, huge sleeves, and then this super deep neckline with the crusted jeweled overlay. So you can buy these overlays at Mood or something like M&J Trimming or something like that. You can find those. And then this dress looks like it's made out of a crepe satin, I would say. It's close fitted, it's lined. This is a dress that you are going to spend a lot of time making, and you're going to use some techniques, some advanced techniques. I mean, you have lining going on, you have that overlay that has to be added on, the double layer sleeves, there's covered shoulder pads in this. There's a ton of work in this dress, but this would be a stunning wedding dress. A mother of the bride dress would be gorgeous. I think that you could get a lot of mileage out of a dress like this for a special occasion. Yeah, this is probably my favorite one out of all of the fancy dresses that they have going on for the holiday season. I think this one would carry over into something besides just a New Year's Eve party. Okay, 2067 is a Marcy Tilton jacket and top, and they made them out of these super dark saturated fabrics, so it's really hard to see the details on this one, so I will pop a line drawing up also. I like them. I think they're cute. They should not be too difficult to make, although I would say you need some advanced beginner skills because there are some interesting techniques here. The top has drop sleeves, and it has a notch here on the collar and some off-center princess seaming. Not sure how that's going to work in the front anyway. And then the jacket has a zip with a hood. Again, it has that off princess seaming, and it has an asymmetrical hem, so it comes down below. You can see how it comes down below the in the front. It kind of peeks down. So this has a separating zipper, and you need to be really careful when you're installing a separating zipper. So this takes a little bit more skill than just a beginner sewing, because you want to make sure that that zipper, the edge of the fabric below the zipper, is even, because if it's off a smidge, then you're going to see that because it's right front and center, and that's where you zip it. So that is really imperative that that is even. And then you have these two little points coming down on the side, and those need to be even. So as long as you measure, I think this would be cute. I think it's a cute little pattern. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of my style. I would like it. I don't know that I have a Marcy Tilton in my fabric stash. I like it. I think this one's going to go on the maybe list for a sew along. I have to do a little more investigation, but I like this one. I like this one. Not a fan of the drop shoulder. That's the only thing that's holding me back on this, but we'll see. We'll take a look. 2068 is a blouse. It's kind of a loose fitting blouse. I'll bet you the ease on this is really generous. It's got a yoke in the back, and then it looks like a small yoke in the front, so there's no darts because the gathering is done up here on the yoke, and then there's an inverted pleat on the back. So it's pretty straight. If you're looking for something that doesn't have a lot of shape, this might be the right blouse for you. It's got that big bow you could add to the collar. I think that's adorable with the bishop sleeves. Really sweet. I also like the white version with the regular collar, and the sash gives it some shape. But if you like a straight blouse that you can wear under a jacket, I think this might be a really good option. I mean, it is a Vogue pattern, so it's well constructed. The only thing for me, I'm not a bishop sleeve person, so I would have to take those in a little bit, but I don't need all that extra fabric going across the center of my body. But if you are okay with the bishop sleeves and you like that look, I think this is a really cute look. And yeah, I really like the straight one with the tie and the collar on it, or with the bow without the tie. Either way, cute blouse. 2069 is a skirt. It's got a lapped front opening, so it kind of looks like a faux wrap almost. And if you wear skirts, this one is super cute. It comes in that long version, which you're seeing a lot of. Has a welt pocket in the back, a side zip, nice waistband with belt loops. So it's very tailored, and would look great in a denim or a plaid, a really nice plaid would be gorgeous. So this is super cute. And like I said, if you wear skirts, you can put the effort into this one and you'll probably just love the way it fits. 2070 is the obligatory pants that you need in every collection. These are a tailored trouser. They're very similar to the skirt we just saw with the well pocket in the back and the contoured waistband belt loops. They have a fly front. The long trousers have a barrel-like look, which is very stylish right now and on trend, and then the shorts are wide leg. Yeah, it's a perfectly acceptable pair of pants, and if you don't have a good trouser pattern in your stash and you want something that's a little modern with the barrel legs, then this would be a really good choice. 2071 is a Julio Cesar, and his patterns are always kind of on the cutting edge. I think this is it's listed as an average pattern, and I think that's probably a pretty fair assessment. It has this really high collar with this very structured little bow. It's kind of small and stands up. A scoop seam in the front, which is really interesting. 3/4 sleeves with the stripe. It works really for a patterned fabric. I'm not sure that you would notice that you have that kind of semi-circle scoop thing going on. Now it says 3/4 sleeves, but on this photo, these sleeves are pretty long on this girl, and I'm gonna guess she's tall. So I don't know, I have mixed feelings about it. I think if you like something that's a little bit pushing the envelope, then this might be a cute pattern for you, especially for the holidays. And it doesn't look like there's that many pieces in it, so it would take a little while, but not a huge amount of time. So if you wanted to make it and you were just gonna wear it for 1 or 2 holiday parties, then it probably would be worth your time to have something like that's like, it's not quite avant-garde, but it's a little bit out there, you know, maybe on the edge of haute couture. So I like this one. I think it's interesting. It's not worth the time for me, but it might be for you. I mean, depending on what kind of party you have to go to. 2072 is a modern bomber jacket. I love this. This is so cute. That big wide collar with the button up front and the button cuffs and that nice little band going around the bottom. Adorable. I can see this with the color blocking like they have in the plaid. I think that looks really great. The only problem with the faux leather one is matching that faux leather with the band. Again, you know, you have a designer look, and to get that designer look, those colors need to match exactly. So you might be more successful with a band that picks up one color, like that black and white plaid with the black band and then the black collar, I think is stunning. But if you want to go with leather, try to make sure that you can get that band before you commit to the leather. Then make sure you find something that's going to work for the band around the bottom. But yeah, super cute. Probably a little bit challenging, but that's okay. It's listed as average. I think that if you go slow and take your time, you should be able to do this one. There is welt pockets in the front, and if you have trouble with welt pockets, you can just leave them off. No one will know. 2073 is a jacket. You can make it with sleeves or without sleeves. This is an advanced pattern. There's a lot going on. It's got princess seams, and then it's got pockets that are overlaid, so the princess seams fall down inside and the pockets overlay from the front. It's double-breasted. It's got this big, wide, notched collar with a big, wide collar in the back. It's stunning. I mean, it's got a 2-piece sleeve, so this jacket would take some time to construct. There's quite a few pieces in it, but what a jacket you would have. I mean, this is gorgeous. So if you are looking for something that's really interesting and a little off the beaten path, this might be it. And you could make this up, the sleeveless one, as a top instead of a jacket. It would be really stunning with just like a nice pair of trousers, and you would be all set to go for the holidays or even to a dinner event. I think it's just stunning. But this one has a lot of work involved in it, so just keep that in mind. 2074 is a cape coat. Cute, I like it. If you know me, you know I have issues with things being constantly attached. I think I would love this better if it was a coat and a cape, so you could wear the cape or the coat or wear them together. I think that would be more You would have more style options. But if you have a couple of coats in your stash and you want to make a new one for this winter, this is really sweet. It's got well pockets, stand-up collar, the cape, button front. It's listed as average. I'm going to guess it's going to take a fair amount of work. It is lined. So if you haven't made a coat and you like this look, it might be a good idea. There's going to be a lot of pieces and there's going to be a lot going on here in these seams because you have the coat, the cape, and the collar. So this seaming up in here could get a little thick and bulky depending on the fabric that you choose. And then you have the lining going on, so you have to be really precise about doing that. But if you can manage that, and you have, I think for this you would really need a serger, although if it's that thick and you have that heavy, you might not even be able to get it through your serger. You might have to bind it closed because there's going to be a lot, like I said, there's going to be a lot going on up there. That's the only thing that worries me, is that it would get a little too bulky up here. But yeah, it's cute. Again, I think you'd be better off making a coat and a cape. And if you wanted to make them the same color, so you could wear them together, you would have more flexibility than you would with them attached, because you're constantly wearing the cape and the coat. There's no way back. 2075 is another coat. This one's more modern. I think between the two of them, for me personally, I would like this one, although this one has dolman sleeves, so that will make it a little easier to put together, but it also gives you that kind of bulky look when you put your arms down. But it's modern. I like the asymmetrical closures and the great big patch pockets, and it has the little rolled cuffs. One of them you could put a hood on, that's an option. Yeah, I like this one. It's like a modern bench warmer. And I think that you could really make it, it's almost taking its inspiration from streetwear. So I think that you could make it look that way, especially if you're on the younger side and you want something that's super hip. Then this might be a coat that would work with your fashion sense. So it's cute. I like it a lot. I could see some of my girls, I could see my girls wearing this for sure. It definitely has that modern, fashionable vibe to it. 2076, elevated loungewear. Loungewear is the thing, and you're wearing them everywhere. This is really cute. It takes that plain crew neck, knit shirt to another level. It's got the V neck, the low V, and there's the scoopy seam again going on in the front. And they seem to have a lot of them this season. You can wear this forward or backward because it has no fitting seams, right? It's loungewear, so there's no darts. It has a drop sleeve with the high neck in the back, so it's really kind of interesting when you turn it around and you get that kind of slouchy look. Make it as a dress or as a top, and then there's a pull-on low riding skirt with a wide waistband. Super cute. Moderate stretch knits. This would be great if you like something that's a little elevated for your loungewear and you want to have something a little different. I don't think that it would be that difficult to make. It's rated as easy, so you have a couple of seams that, like I said, it's very little fitting because you have these almost bat wing things going on with the grown on sleeves, except the sleeves start like here. So all of this is just kind of grown on, and then you have a fitted sleeve. So it would be certainly great for a beginner who wanted something a little more elevated than a basic like simplicity pattern. So I think this is cute. I like this a lot. 2077, cute loungewear, teddy and our little robe. These things are not as difficult to make as you would think they were. I have a sew along for a slip, and I'll pop that down below. Working with lace and kind of a satiny fabric is not that hard. It's more about pinning and paying attention to what you're doing. But once you get the technique down, like I make slips all the time. I love the lace and the satiny, stretch satiny fabric that they go together, and they fit better and they look nicer than the ones that you can buy in the store, So cute pattern if you're looking for a little robe and a teddy, really cute. 2078, capes and boleros, right? The bolero, the red one with the sleeves, that is a statement bolero for sure. If you paired that with like that first dress with the big scoopy cutouts, wow, that would be a statement for sure. Runway, red carpet, runway ready. Gorgeous. Now this cape is really sweet. It's short, it's got a little collar. And if you go back to the coat with the cape attached, this cape, if you made this cape and you made a coat and you made them out of the same fabric, you would have two pieces that you could wear separately or together, and you would get more use out of them than you would with that coat with the cape already attached. And you wouldn't have to stitch all that bulk around here. So this cape is really sweet. I'm sure it's not very difficult. It's a lined cape with a little tiny collar. Probably has a little closure, hook and eye. I'm gonna guess it's a hook and eye closure. Then the other cape that they have is more like a, I don't know that you want to make it out of outerwear because it doesn't have any details. But again, it's an option. It's just got some darts in the front and the back. This is a cute pattern. This will keep in your wardrobe. I mean, that cape, you can make it longer. You can make it really short and make it super modern and hip. I think that this is a good pattern. If you don't have a cape pattern in your stash, this might be one that you should seriously think about. 2079. Bolero. This is wild. These patterns aren't hard to make, but they add such impact to your holiday outfit. So say you have a little black dress that you love and you wear all the time. You take this bolero with the big bow, make it out of a green satin or a red gold, and add that on top. You're not spending a lot of time, you're not spending a lot of money, but you take that little black dress and it's like, wow, you brought it right into the holidays, and people won't even know that it's the same little black sheath dress that you wear all the time, because all the focus will be on this bolero. It's listed as easy. It takes a couple of yards, that first one, because it's got the big bow and it's got the huge sleeves, but 3 yards of, a nice fabric might cost you about $50 or $60. If you bought a brand new dress with this kind of statement, it's going to be like several $100s. So just this one little piece will elevate your dress for the season. If it's easy, it's not going to take too long to make, so you're not investing all the time and effort into making a full garment. You're just elevating something that you already have. I love this. I think these are super, super cute. They would go a long way in taking, like I said, something very simple. Now the jacket one with the bolero, same thing. You could add it to a pair of black trousers that you already have in your wardrobe. And if you made it out of a lame or, again, another bright seasonal color, it's perfect. It's great. I think that this is a good option if you just have a little bit of time and you want to elevate something you already have in your closet that you love. 2080. I love that they're starting to add more menswear patterns into the collections. This is a straightforward jacket. It has a yoke in the back, pretty simple two-piece sleeve, and patch pockets on the top, and then well pockets on the side. It's listed as average. It's lined. It's a really nice jacket if you want to sew for a man that you know, or there are so many men now taking up sewing because they want to be stylish and they don't want to spend the kind of money that they need to spend to get something super high-end when they can make it themselves. This is really, really, really nice. The zipper is hidden under the placket so you don't see it. Nice collar detail, and it's Vogue, so I'm sure it's like well crafted. There's probably quite a few pieces to this. Again, it's listed as average, but it's a nice men's jacket, and if you're in the market for that, this is a good one. 2081, Diane von Furstenberg's wrap dress. Yet again, here we go, another wrap dress reintroduction pattern. The original one was great, and I think a lot of people bought it and a lot of people wanted it. Now every collection they're issuing another version of that wrap dress. This one has sleeves, has a little bit of a cuff, elastic, or a cuff on the bottom, short sleeves, long sleeves. Honestly, you can take the original wrap dress and just add a sleeve to it if that's what you're looking for. But yeah, I think I've seen enough of these. They keep coming over and over and over again, and I can't see a reason to keep buying the same pattern over and over again because it just doesn't, it's not cost effective. 2082 is another vintage reproduction, re-release. 1963 was when this pattern was initially released. It's cute. I like it. It's very retro. I like the kind of fitted top with the little poof skirt going, a little pencil skirt that pops out. There's no real person wearing this, and for me that's a big no-no with a pattern. It's only rendition drawings. You don't see a live person. They haven't bothered to make it up and photograph a person wearing this dress. So we don't know what it's going to look like. We just know what somebody thinks it's going to look like. So that's an issue for me. But if you do like retro and you're willing to take the time to fit that bustier and then the skirt, it's certainly cute and authentic. And so you would be right on trend for a vintage look. All right, that wraps up Vogue's early winter collection drop. There were a lot of patterns we just went through, and we went through them kind of quickly. I think I'm going to get the 2067, the Marcy Tilton top and jacket. I'm really interested in the top. I like the asymmetrical little notch going on here. I'm not a fan, like I said, of the drop sleeves, but we'll see how that works. Sometimes it's not a good look for me, but I think the pattern is worth getting and making up and doing a sew along. So I'm going to do that, so keep an eye out for that one. And until next time, happy sewing. Bye.